Hey everyone, welcome to another match of Temur Hooting Delver. Today we are playing blue-white Counterbalance. I've been looking forward to playing this deck, or at least against this deck. It's going to be an interesting match. It's going to be kind of an uphill battle, but let's see how it goes. Our opening hand is decent. We have some removal, we have some threats, we have land. It's a relatively good balance. We're short on permission, but that's okay. So our opponent plays Thought Scour, targeting us in terms of milling for 2. Interesting, I don't always see that, but it is what it is. Let's see what they play turn 2. Counterbalance, turn 2. Alright. In response, I crack my Mystery Rainforest. I think I just wanted to get in a Tarfire here. Okay. Being proactive, I suppose. Although what might have made more sense was to kind of test the waters, have Counterbalance resolved, then Tarfire him, see what's on top of the deck. But hindsight, I guess, is 2020. Archmage's Charm. That's okay. That means our Tarmogoyf resolves. And we continue. I mean, there's not much we can do right now. Right? We have no way of really responding to the triggered ability. So we're kind of at the whim of what's on top of our opponent's library. It's going to be interesting to see how they manipulate that card to kind of respond to our threats. So we have Opt as our draw. Yeah, I guess fetch. Alright, looks like I'm testing out, seeing what's again on top of our opponent's library. He lets it go. Alright, fair enough. Island. Don't want an island. So we have Delver of Secrets. Let's, swing in for Tarmogoyf, get in for 4. They don't do anything. I think it's safe to say that, Delver of Secrets to put onto the battlefield. Op went through. Okay, there we go. Alright, so Delver of Secrets is going to resolve. Thank you. And I'm taking the opportunity of bolting our opponent. Interesting that they choose to do Omen of the Sea now. I would have figured they would have done that before, just to be sure to counter Delver of Secrets, but okay. Let's see what they do. Do they really want to fight this lightning bolt? I guess they do. We're definitely putting a clock on them. Okay, land. I guess they want to draw that land. The interesting thing with Counterbalance is that you just don't have as much control over the top card of your library like you do in Legacy. Not to mention, just card costs in general are much lower in Legacy, since it is a faster format than Modern, so it's kind of easier to counter spells with Counterbalance. Delver of Secrets does not flip, that's okay, we're drawing our lands. Yep, seems fair to me. I'm not overcommitting because I'm kind of weary of Supreme Verdict. I just assume our opponent is running it somewhere in the 75, and I've seen it show up in the on the main board in the first 60s, so I just don't want to overcommit to the board at the moment. In response, I am cycling Windcaller Raven. And I'm gonna use my Tarfire. Path to Exile shows up. Alright. Not what I wanted to see. So Tarfire gets countered. Kind of questioning my line of thinking there, but all right. So we know Path to Exile is coming down. Pretty much know what it's gonna hit. So I chose not to crack my Wooded Foothills because I wanted to see what was going to show up. Yeah, I don't want to draw another Delver's Secrets, so I'm going to fetch now. I'm being pretty aggressive in my land drops because I don't think our opponent is going to be coming down with a threat anytime soon. So Path to Exile, Tarmogoyf, of course. We'll go get an island. Or a forest. Yeah, forest. So we'll hit in for 1. I think that's a safe play. Let's see what Counterbalance does. Alright. So they're going to try and scry a 2 CMC card to the top of their library. Let's see if they're successful. Alright, moment of truth. Alright, nope, they're opting. Okay. I guess they didn't find what they wanted. It looks like I'm taking the opportunity to bolt. This is just a game you have to play, I guess, at this point. So you see a land. Alright, cool. What are we going to show? Force of Negation. Our Tarmogoyf resolves. And let's see if our opponent can pull something out of thin air. They have to take care of both our creatures. Terminus is a way to take care of both our creatures. I guess that's a thing. Alright, let's Thought Scour. In retrospect, I should have targeted our opponent here, but we got a mana leak. Alright. Let's see if our Hooting Mandrills can get counterbalanced. That's going to be interesting. It does not. Alright. So our clock is back on. We just have to swing in once. So mana leak hopefully will keep Cryptic Command at bay. Although I believe they also drew a Force of Negation, so this is going to be kind of painful. We draw a Scalding Tarn. Really overdrew on lands this turn, this game, but what are you going to do? Let's see. Okay, Cryptic Command. Well, we have no choice here. We have to mana leak it. And hope that they don't have any other blue spells in their hand. Apart from Force of Negation. If they even drew Force of Negation, that is. Alright. It's true, we have to go through 2 paths here for our mana leak to resolve. First it has to get past Counterbalance, and then we have to assume. Okay, so he did have Force of Negation. Alright. So... that's all going to resolve. The stack is going to do its thing. So, Hooting Mandrill is coming back to our hand. We'll just recast it. Wait another turn. We essentially got fogged. Yeah, I'm fetching at this point. I really don't want to draw any more lands. I really do not need any more lands. almost being indiscriminate here in my casting of Hooting Mandrills, but we have enough card types to have big enough armor waves. Moment of truth. They have 3 cards in hand. You gotta have something. Jace. Alright. That's a card. And they could throw Hooting Mandrills back into our hand. Yep. Okay. So yet another fog, yet another land. I can't believe I am drawing more lands. This is honestly why this game hasn't ended yet. We just keep drawing more and more lands. It's brutal. It really is brutal. The only solace is that Hooting Mandrills is going to be hard to counter with Counterbalance. The thing is, our opponent can't just keep bouncing Hooting Mandrills forever. They kind of have to do something. Alright. Looks like they're going to keep bouncing Hooting Mandrills. Oh boy. I wonder if this is fun to watch. I hope it's fun for you. I'm not sure why I didn't fetch there. I think I'm out of fetch targets. No, I would technically have one more Steam Vents. I think I was just kind of fed up here. Okay, another Serum Visions. No, we just have to dig for threats here. I suppose it would have been safer to keep Serum Visions on top to ensure that Delver of Secrets flips, but we don't even have a guarantee that Delver of Secrets is going to resolve here. So we have to give some credit, I guess, to our opponent. They've been at 1 life for several turns now. But they aren't putting enough pressure. I mean, obviously, I know that they're just waiting to draw into their finisher. But I'm assuming their finisher is me dying by a bunch of 4/4 flying angel tokens. So, oh my god. So our Hooting Mandrills gets countered by Terminus. So, you know, if our opponent still loses this game, I don't know what to say. They are going to cast Terminus, of course. Yeah. Alright. Now they get to do something else with their Jace. And you can see here that, you know, things can actually sway into our opponent's favor pretty quickly now. We've been drawing a lot of lands, way too many lands. You know, for a deck that plays 17, we've seen a lot of our mana base this game, which is pretty brutal. It's pretty brutal. So yeah, okay, yeah. So I was right. There was no more. There was no more. Okay. So, Lightning Bolt. Does it come down to 1 Lightning Bolt? So I was right before. I had no Steam Vents left. I guess it was milled. So does our opponent die to Lightning Bolt finally? Okay. That was an extremely infuriating match. Our opponent was down to 1 for maybe 6-7 turns there. They just kept fogging us. So what do we bring in? Veil of Summer, obviously. Ashiok doesn't really do much here. So Destructive Revelry, for sure, for their enchantment. Engineer Explosives can touch on tokens if they, you know, manage on creating any. Blood Moon's definitely useless. Huntmaster can be an all-star here, considering the game definitely grinds. And if they want to keep bouncing our Huntmaster off back into our hand with Jace, I have no problem with that. So, yeah, Simic Charm seems kind of useless. Flame Slash, definitely useless. Windcaller Raven as well, I think, is a good call here. We're not really facing any creatures, so it's safe to remove. So our opening hand, 0 threats. This is really anemic, and I think it's a mulligan for sure. Our second our first mulligan, is okay, but it's just one land. We have a Serum Visions, which I think is the only thing that salvages this hand. We are going second, which means we have the opportunity to draw a land. We don't. We draw a Tarmogoyf, but it's okay because now we can go and dig for a land. We usually hit a land, especially if we've only seen 2 so far. Yeah, there you go. So Tarmogoyf and a Scalding Tarn. I don't think we're gonna end up drawing that Tarmogoyf, but we'll see. No Counterbalance turn 2. That's always good. So, Delver of Secrets. Yep. We know it's not going to flip next turn, but we can also draw another Tarmogoyf. Alright. Might feel that this game is going by slowly, but I've actually increased the speed by 25%, so it's going quicker than I was experiencing it, that's for sure. So end of turn, we have to make the decision, do I want to draw that third Tarmogoyf or not? It looks like I really want to draw that third Tarmogoyf. Oh, it's a Serum Visions. So I must have actually scryed that Tarmogoyf away. In which case it makes sense that I kept the Scalding Tarn uncracked. This way I could have cracked it if we revealed something we didn't want during the Delver flip. Alright, we got a third land. That's great. We also got a Hooting Mandrills, but we're kind of threat heavy right now. I'm not too concerned. But a Serum Visions would be nice, so. I think it's safe to play Tarmogoyf as well, because we have Force of Negation in hand and a Mana Leak as a potential sacrifice outlet or an exile outlet. Unless they have a response to it right now. Maybe Archmage's Charm? Yep. Alright. So be it. We do have a backup Tarmogoyf. Let's see what we get on their turn. They're going to bring Archmage's Charm back to their hand. That's annoying. And they do nothing. So they have all their mana available to them. We're just going to attack in first, see what happens. Nothing. Cool. I think it's safe to put our second Tarmogoyf. Let them opt. We can defend it with Veil of Summer. Yeah. So we will play Veil of Summer. I get to draw a card off of that as well, which is great. Awesome. Thank you, Xmage, for reminding me what Veil of Summer does. We'll play that Scalding Tarn. And we let it be. I could have Serum Visions there, but I guess I wanted to potentially use Serum Visions as a Force of Negation exile target, and that way I maintain Mana Leak, so I guess that's smart. We're not necessarily dying right now to draw an answer because we have 2 answers on the field. I definitely don't want to draw any more lands though, so fetching right now end of turn makes sense. We still don't draw a land, but whatever. That is life. Let's see what happens here. Nothing. That's great. No reason to rock the boat. We can counter essentially 2 spells on our turn or theirs. we don't even have to sacrifice anything for Force of Negation on our turn or theirs because we have enough mana for both. Alright. It's a lot of omens. We're going to let it pass. They're clearly digging. Let them dig. I'd rather counter whatever they find. Opt. Alright, keep going, bud. I believe in you. What do they get? Anything? Do you have an answer? Teferi? Nope. I am not interested in Teferi. I mean, I double check, but yeah, I don't think I want him to resolve at all. At all. Interesting that I still sacrifice Serum Visions for that, but okay. There you go. I suppose I want to keep mana up for Mana Leak in case I get Mana Leaked, which makes sense. So that was Counterbalance. I really don't feel like Counterbalance is going to work very well in Modern. It's just there's too much card diversity, ironically, compared to Legacy. And that's mostly because of the speed of Modern compared to Legacy, right? So, you know, one CMC, two CMC is extremely common in Legacy. 3, 4, 5 becomes less and less common unless you're playing a very specific type of deck. In Modern, that's a different story. So there's just way more targets for Counterbalance to kind of deal with. Although it was kind of funny that our Hooting Mandrills got countered by Terminus, but I think that's probably a very rare occurrence. So at the end of the day, I believe, at least from the Counterbalance decks that I've played, this is just a weaker control deck. I think just playing straight up blue-white control is probably better now. Or just playing whatever, any form of Astrolabe control essentially is better than playing Counterbalance. It is a fun idea, I suppose, but it's just too much of the deck revolves around scrying and manipulating the top card of your library to kind of make Counterbalance work. And when you don't have Counterbalance at all, the deck just kind of does nothing, like, at all. So you just need Counterbalance to make it work, period, which seems like a very weak point of the strategy. So we managed to deal with Counterbalance in game 1 and 2 relatively well. I mean, game 2 we didn't even see Counterbalance, but game 1 we saw it, you know, turn 2. And although our opponent fogged us essentially for several turns, we still managed to kill them with a lightning bolt, which is kind of funny because they got rid of our creatures so many times and they still died to a lightning bolt. But it is what it is. So I hope you enjoyed that match. I definitely enjoyed playing it at the time, although it was definitely a bit exhausting. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content, I would appreciate a subscription. It lets me know that you like my content and want to see more. It means you get notifications when I upload new videos, which are every other day during the week. And yeah, it just helps the channel in general grow. Thanks and have a good one.